This crowd buzzing here at the Olympic Sports Field. Wally Savor. Got it on there by Jennings. By Graham Arnold, in fact, and picking out Robbie Slater. Challenge came in from Northcote and it took a touch from Robbie Slater. Throw, in fact, goes to Adelaide City. And Robbie Slater there just argues with the linesman. And the linesman there calling over Jim Rossis. Presume just to say that Robbie Slater argued with him, which was quite obvious to everybody, and I think referee Jim Rossis also realised that. Now has a word with Slater. So veteran Rozic, captain coach, Sydney, Croatia, out again today through injury. Now it's Lamond. Corner given. It's Lamond, who's been in fine form this season, 7 goals in the league. Leaves the corner to Shane Clinch. So Clinch curling this one in. Mark Jones with the header. Wait there by Bugsy Nyskohus. Graham Arnold was the player waiting. Mark Jones yet to score this season. It's a player who got on the end of this corner. Mark Jones. You see there, Graham Arnold was waiting. Bugsy Nyskohus was in there first, hacking it away for another corner, this time to be taken by Robbie Slater. Near post ball, away by Tobin. Now Maxwell, Shane Clinch, Jennings spreading it wide. Slater, firmest part of the pitch, in fact, where Robbie Slater is now. Getting this one across. Mark Jones with a header, and Zabica is pushed, and the goal won't stand. Well, there used to be days when centre-forwards could get away with that, but not these days. But it was a good cross, this, from Robbie Slater.
Beautiful piece of work from Robbie, and really, in a nutshell, very small nutshell there, one of the reasons why he's back in the Aussie Socceroos squad at the moment. He really is in top form, and he really has to be watched when he goes out on those dry patches on the flanks, because there he's quite irresistible. And here, Croatia coming very close indeed.
Zoran Matic, coach of Adelaide City, former player, be delighted with his side leading. Zabica with the long clearance, touched on there by Mullen. Maxwell waited, Hunter was in there quickly. Gone on forward by Alan Hunter, looking for Graham Arnold. That was a good challenge in the end by Paul Shillabeer. So 16 minutes gone in this first half. Adelaide City 1, Sydney, Croatia 0. Maxwell, Villani, Melta, good save by Tony Franken, but again Sydney Croatia were caught out at the back, and this time it was a good run from midfield from Sergio Melta, denied in the end by Tony Franken with some good goalkeeping. Now Slater, the action switches to the other end. Slater plays that one in looking for Arnold, and it was Neville Flounders, the player, coming across. Certainly plenty of action for the crowd here. Play switching from end to end. So Robbie Slater to take this corner. Curling this one in, away by Charlie Villani. Now Steve Maxwell, the only player forward, in fact, for Adelaide City. Now Slater. Nyskohus, challenge there from Bugsy Nyskohus. Melta, he's caught in possession. Now Brian Northcote. Hunter. Hunter had an outstanding match last week in the sweeper's role in the absence of veteran Rozic. Tries to play that one across the offside flag up against Robbie Slater. A free kick. Certainly, Les, the tempo of this game in the first 17 minutes. Really a credit to both sides.
Well, they're turning it on for us, aren't they, for the cameras, Mike? We have said before, of course, that that crowd there is likely to enjoy a very good game between these two sides. They did last season in a classic at the Croatian Sports Centre.
Now Maxwell. Savor trying to play that one back, and Tony Franken had to come right to the edge of his 18-yard box. Savor. Villani. First time ball forward, looking for Maxwell. Good defending there by Mark Jones. And now Hunter. Looking for Lamond. Still Lamond. Still Lamond, not afraid to run at players, but stopped there by Nyskohus, who in turn catches Jennings, and a free kick is given, not to the delight of the Adelaide City fans. And certainly those Sydney Croatia supporters will be delighted as the free kick's quickly taken. Now Clinch. Not in the way though. This is Craig Foster. Foster! Just wide there from Craig Foster. Former Australian Youth International. Scored his only goal in the National Soccer League. When these two teams met earlier this season, it was a goal in the end that settled the issue, and he wasn't too far wide then. Good strike though, Les, from young Craig Foster. Beautiful stuff, and again, a lot of fire in the match. It just continues to amaze me how much spectacle we've seen already in this game. Of course, adding to that has been, or making that possible, has been the early goal. That's always a good recipe for a good game, and that's certainly what we have at the moment. Now Mullen. Clinch just trying to hack that one forward. Only his father was Santrac. And Santrac there switches play and picks out Alex Tobin on that far side. Tobin hasn't scored this season in the league, but he scored a sensational goal for Australia in the Olympic qualifiers. This is Melta trying to cut that one across. Jennings though leading the charge forward. Now Lamond. Still Lamond. Now Arnold. Lamond again. Just chipping this one inside. Arnold. The ball runs through to the keeper. Now Maxwell, just getting the touch on, couldn't pick out Joe Mullen, finds this man instead, Alan Hunter. Now Santrac. Ball went right into the muddiest part of the pitch. As Charlie Villani is upended by Jennings. Jennings, appearance 229 today in the National Soccer League. Regular member with the Winfield Socceroos, 64 appearances for Australia, plus 10 at youth level. And Steve Maxwell there is penalised for the challenge on Mark Jones. Mark Jones today celebrating his 22nd birthday. Player who hails from Newcastle, former member of the Australian Youth Socceroos. So now Hunter. Got it on there by Graham Arnold. Away by Nyskohus. Petkovic. Good challenge that from Tobin. Now Petkovic. Closed down by Charlie Villani. Lamond. Slater. Trying to play a 1-2 there with Lamond. Player in the way was Nyskohus. Now Savor. Foster. Northcote again, sticking close to Slater. So Northcote, one can remember being called up for the Australian team. That was back in 1981. Even then his chance of an appearance in the green and gold was stopped by a back injury. It was an injury, in fact, that plagued him for the next 5 years. It's been a good comeback this season. Adelaide City now have got some more defending to do. Sydney Croatia have got yet another corner. So Clinch. Away by Charlie Villani for another corner, this time from the other side. Bit of indecision there, Les, in the Adelaide City defence from that corner.
That's right, they are feeling the pressure now that Croatia is putting on them, and really, if Croatia can put a bit more purpose into their game, they will have the equaliser.
Lamond this time with the corner, away by Nyskohus. And Joe Mullen back helping his defenders. Just misheading that, conceding the throw-in. Joe Mullen, 24 years old. Just a couple of goals so far this season. Now Clinch. That came off of Mullen, so another corner for Sydney Croatia. Well, certainly if this first half was going to be decided on corners, Sydney Croatia would have it sewn up lock, stock and barrel. Lamond. Back header there from Tobin. Hunter down. Hunter. Slater. Here's the equaliser. And it was scored in the end by Robbie Slater. But for the first time this afternoon, it was Alan Hunter who went forward to meet the corner. It was Hunter who caused all the problems. Alex Tobin there gets his head to it, but his back header only picks out Hunter. He slams it in. The ball there just knocked over the line by Robbie Slater. In the end, Les, it was the pressure that told.
The sheer weight of pressure did it, and the marvellous ability in the air, really, of Alan Hunter, who has done things like that for the Socceroos, has been doing it for Croatia, and of course the quickness and the goal hunger of Robbie Slater that did it.
36 minutes gone in the first half. Adelaide City 1, Sydney Croatia 1. So the Sydney Croatia supporters there celebrate. Fireworks in the grandstand. And certainly now we've got a game on our hands. Those Croatia supporters still celebrating. Robbie Slater, his 4th goal in the league this season. Now Graham Arnold, stopped there by Neville Flounders. Only his father was Petkovic. Now Lamond. Nyskohus with the clearance. Certainly with both sides, Levs, having a lot of support here this afternoon. There really is a great atmosphere around the Olympic sports field.
It's not the biggest crowd we've seen under the with all the rain and everything, but it is a big atmosphere. Very good, some loyal following here for both sides.
Savor there catching Joe Mullen. Results in this free kick. Now Maxwell. Stevie Maxwell. Maxwell! And denied there by Tony Franken. Stevie Maxwell has scored 8 goals this season in the league and so close there to number 9. Denied in the end by some good goalkeeper from Tony Franken. Determined to get a win bonus this afternoon on his 100th appearance. Spread himself so well and denied Maxwell there from point blank range. Adrian Santrac now with the corner for Adelaide City. To the far post, away there by Craig Foster. Helped on his way by Robbie Slater, and his father was Sergio Melta. And Melta tries the shot, and a brilliant save, that from Tony Franken. Cheers from the Croatia supporters. Good shot from Melta. Equally good save from Tony Franken, tipping that one away for another corner. But Tony Franken covering himself with glory on his 100th National Soccer League appearance.
Brilliant stuff this, Michael.
Adrian Santrac again with the corner. Way this time by Mark Jones. Now Santrac. Croatia trying to come out to play the offside trap. Santrac playing that one through. The situation well read there by Mark Jones. And now Slater. Croatia so dangerous in these situations when they can break quickly. But Adelaide City have got plenty of players back. And Sergio Melta in the end tidying up and all the way back to his keeper. Now watch this, 4 minutes to go to half time. As Craig Foster tries to set Lamond on his way on the other side. A mistake there by Brian Northcote. Eventually comes through to Lamond, chipping that one in, looking for Slater, away by Sergio Melta. And now Charlie Villani. The long ball forward, and that came off the back of Steve Maxwell. Unlucky there for Adelaide City, as Maxwell was on his way. Now Sergio Melta. He can pick out Stevie Maxwell, faced there by Alan Hunter. And stopped by Hunter. Jennings. Now Mark Jones. Shillabeer was the player in the way. Now Santrac. Nodded on by Mullen. Jennings put under pressure there by Maxwell. Still Stevie Maxwell twisting and turning, shielding the ball so well, keeping possession. Sergio Melta waited, the ball just stopped dead there in that very muddy patch. And eventually Sydney Croatia get a free kick. Cheers there for referee Jim Rossis. We said earlier, Les, it's not easy this afternoon for players. It's certainly not easy for referees, but I think Jim Rossic has given this game every chance to flow.
He's had an excellent game, helped, of course, by the footballing philosophy of both of these teams, but he's had a faultless game, really.
Now Villani. Still Charlie Villani trying the shot, and Tony Franken there taking it so well. Good goalkeeping there from Tony Franken. Conditions like this, doing everything right and getting his body behind the ball. Good shot though, this from Charlie Villani. And Franken, body behind the ball, collects it at the second attempt. Now Shillabeer. Throw on the far side to Sydney, Croatia. So now Robbie Slater. Another throw. Slater, the goal scorer for Sydney, Croatia. Now Lamond. Still managed Lamond. Bouncing away from two challenges. Couldn't get the cross in. Now Petkovic. Away this time by Santrac. Mark Jones. Santrac there trying to turn that one back. Here's Slater. Desperation stuff there from Bugsy Nyskohus. And Nyskohus there turns and remonstrates with Adrian Santrac, and certainly that wouldn't have pleased Zoran Matic either. Shakes his head there in disbelief. Adrian Santrac there trying to play that one back and causing his defenders all sorts of trouble. In the end, it was a desperation challenge from Bugsy Nyskohus, who got the ball away from the danger area. Joe Mullen. A favourable bounce there from that clearance from Alan Hunter. And Tony Franken keeping on his toes and out quickly. Now Petkovic. Jennings trying to take it away from the muddy patch. Sydney Croatia now quite content to play out time at the end of the first half as we enter stoppage time, and there can't be too much of that. Checking the watches there from referee Jim Rossic. As Tony Franken clears and the half-time whistle goes. Good first half for this good-sized crowd here at the Olympic Sports Field in Adelaide. Adelaide City took the lead after 5 minutes from Charlie Villani, his second goal of the season. Sydney Croatia equalising after 35 minutes from Robbie Slater. His remember the half-time scoreline: Adelaide City 1, Sydney Croatia 1. So Petkovic looking for Slater. Both sides starting this second half unchanged. First touch there for Robert Zabica. Certainly the busier of the two goalkeepers. Towards the end of that first half, Tony Franken certainly earning his corn this afternoon. Now Mullen spreading it wide. This is Charlie Villani. Villani! Shot charged down there by Hunter. And eventually Alan Hunter getting it away from the danger area. And a long one forward looking for Graham Arnold, who slipped at the most inopportune time. Now Flounders. Clinch in there quickly. Arnold trying to turn that one inside for Lamond. Throw on the far side to Sydney Croatia. Graham Arnold, 33 appearances for Australia, scoring 19 goals. Certainly, Les, Graham Arnold's looked sharp this afternoon and looked very hungry for a goal.
Well, all those three strikers for Sydney Croatia have done, of course, and that's their main strength at the moment. They're in such wonderful form, but what a great game this is. I know that Johnny Warren, who's very unluckily for him, is in Rio de Janeiro as we speak.
Unlucky? Unlucky?
Would be missing the action here today. He really would have enjoyed this, but it's a marvellous game and two very good footballing sides. I still say that, in fact, I'm curious to see now how Croatia, if anything, will change their tactics in this second half. But they really need to utilise the flanks and those two flankmen, Lamond and Slater, just a touch more in this second half. But that's not to say not to take anything away from either side.
Lamond. That time by Mark Jones. Paul Shillabeer in there quickly for Adelaide City. Now Nyskohus. Maxwell. Trying to turn it inside. Craig Foster was there quickly now. Graham Arnold trying to switch players. Petkovic came forward. Joe Mullen. Melta. Trying to Play that one through into space. Graham Jennings was the last line of defence for Sydney Croatia, and a good ball out from Jennings, picking out Clinch. There's Lamond. Trying to cut that one inside. Slater going to the near post. Away though by Nyskohus. So Nyskohus made a couple of appearances for Australia at full international level, both against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and they were back in 1972. Player though still going strongly at 37. But he's going to await this cross coming in from Clinch. Goes behind the byline and out of play for a goal kick. Now Maxwell. Maxwell there, keeping control of the ball. He shields the ball so well. Santrac there trying to play that forward, but it's intercepted by Lamond. Now Craig Foster. Robbie Slater up in support, so's Graham Arnold, so's Lamond. This is Arnold. Arnold trying the shot. Across the face of goal. It wasn't too far wide from Graham Arnold. Good break though, that Les. It all started with Lamond.
That's right, and Graham Arnold, as hungry as ever, he really hates not to score goals in a game, and here just testing his right foot, and it really wasn't very far away at all, but Zabica really covering his goal very well.
Here's Santrac again. Petkovic in quickly. Now Shillabeer. Came off of Lamond. Lamond, 7 goals this season. His best ever season, in fact, in the goal scoring stakes. 7 goals in 12 matches this year. He'd only managed 7 goals in his previous 67 matches in the league. Now Maxwell. Tobin on the overlap. Ball was charged down by Wally Savor, and Adelaide City have got a corner. So pressure now for Tony Franken. Australian youth international keeper, number 23. Spillers were representing Australia at full international level. He's got to face this corner now to come across from Adrian Santrac. Santrac, far post ball, the free header from Villani, and surely there Villani should have done better. There must be some questions there, Les, on the marking of Sydney Croatia.
Yes, some question, because he had a very free header, didn't he, Villani? And it sort of evens things out. We had Graham Arnold at the other end when he should have scored, really. He will regretted not scoring from that header just a few minutes ago. And now Villani with virtually an open goal. A big chance, the chance of the game.
20 minutes gone in the second half. Adelaide City 1, Sydney Croatia 1. Now Petkovic. Savor. Way again by Nyskohus. Now Petkovic. It's away by Shillabeer. Mullen. Turning that one inside, away by Alan Hunter. Now Santrac. Right for Stevie Maxwell. Maxwell there, faced by Hunter. Now Melta. Now Santrac, right-footed. And again, bounces off Mark Jones. Could have gone anywhere, and Tony Franken only too pleased to pounce on it. So Franken trying to get it forward quickly. Lamond. And Slater. Slater twisting and turning. Still Slater trying to cut this one back. Paul Shillabeer was the player in with the block, and then Nyskohus. And a goal kick is given. Robbie Slater there not agreeing with that decision. But a good run that, Les, from Robbie Slater, getting behind the Adelaide City defence and causing all sorts of problems.
That's right, Robbie Slater hasn't been in the game really all that much in this second half, but that was again an example of his fortitude up front and the danger that he represents. But back to that chance missed by Villani, it may have been a very costly miss, because out of the two sides, I think it's Adelaide City who are looking a bit more jaded, and unless they can find a bit of energy in their legs, the 2 points might slip away from them.
Now Villani. Still Charlie Villani cutting inside, trying the shot. The offside flag was up against Maxwell. Referee, though, let him play continue with Sydney Croatia in possession. Now Foster. Missed kick there, Santrac. Just stuck in the mud. Now Slater. As the rain starts coming down again at the Olympic Sports Field. Slater, caught by Brian Northcote. So a free kick to Sydney Croatia. So quickly taken. Slater. Away by Flounders. Charlie Villani, Santrac. Melta. Caught there by Jennings. Now Petkovic. Now Lamond. Faced there by Shillabeer. Still Lamond. Closed down by Nyskohus. Still gets the cross in. Keeper comes down and takes it safely. Lamond there doing so well. Put under pressure by 2 players, but still managed to get the cross in. Lovely skills this, though, Les, from Lamond.
Lamond is a very valuable player. I mean, he has his critics, but he's proved it again there how valuable he is.
Now's Maxwell. And Stevie Maxwell has the opportunities he fell at the other end. So close to his 9th goal of the season. Sydney Croatia were caught. And Steve Maxwell, well, a corner's been given. One can only suggest that perhaps Tony Franken got a touch on it. Steve Maxwell so close there as Adelaide City take the corner quickly. And this time it's just over the top from Alex Tobin. Well, action at both ends, Les. We were watching Lamond, and then all of a sudden Steve Maxwell had the chance, and Alex Tobin wasn't too far wide then.
Action galore at both ends, Mike. Both halves, the second half as well. We might have thought that the teams were a bit jaded and we wouldn't see the spectacle of the first half, but we are seeing it in front of goal, certainly. And we've had not only 2 great goals here today, but missed chances galore to do us for the rest of the season. It really has been quite a lot of excitement.
Well, one would expect if either of these sides was going to tie, it would be Sydney Croatia. Remembering, of course, they had a midweek match in the New South Wales State Bank Cup when they downed St George by 5 goals to 2. But at the moment, they're finishing the stronger. As Robbie Slater heads for drier ground on that far side. Faced there by Santrac. Still Robbie Slater. Leaving it now for Graham Jennings. Graham Arnold's forward. The header down from Petkovic, and that's only inches wide. Ivan Petkovic scored 1 goal this season, and that was back on the 7th of February in a 1-0 win over Sunshine George Cross. Getting so close here, but a lovely cross from Graham Jennings, Les.
Yes, a beautiful move by Sydney Croatia. Jennings going out on the wide. Lamond made a very good decoy run. Took a couple of players with him out there looking for the short ball, and that gave Petkovic the free header.
Now Villani. That one forward, picking out Alex Tobin. Now Villani. Being pulled back there by Craig Foster. So a free kick for Adelaide City. Charlie Villani, the 26-year-old. 25 appearances for Australia after making his debut against Everton. It's back in 1987. Like the Socceroos beat the English champions. Now Robbie Slater. Croatia trying to come out quickly. Arnold's up in support, so's Lamond. Still Robbie Slater. Now cutting inside. Lamond. Still Lamond. Cutting this one back. Arnold. Safely taken in the end by Zabica. Graham Arnold, Les, looking so hungry this afternoon for a goal.
Very much so. He's the sort of man who just hates not scoring in a game. But what magic Lamond and Slater are weaving here today. Those two really are the form strikers of the NSL at the moment.
Adelaide City have got a free kick for that challenge on Joe Mullen. Hunter there remonstrating. I don't think it was him he wasn't the player who was being penalised. I think it was Shane Clinch. Alan Hunter, who's had such a strong game at the back, has proved to be a very able deputy for veteran Rozic. So Adelaide City take this free kick. Mullen, away by Mark Jones. Now Santrac, hoisting that one back in. Maxwell wins it in the air. Now Mullen trying the shot. Now Maxwell trying to twist and turn Steve Maxwell. Now Melta. Now Mullen. And now Tobin. It had to go eventually. And it was Alex Tobin scoring his first goal of the season that sends those Adelaide City fans into ecstasy. The goal coming 33 minutes. But Adelaide City there, unable to get a shot in on target, Les.
Magnificent stuff. It took about an hour and a half to come, but it finally came, and deservedly, by Alex Tobin. Also another young Socceroo who's got a great future ahead of him, and look how delighted the Adelaide City fans are.
35 minutes gone. Adelaide City 2, Sydney Croatia 1. And for Alex Tobin, his first ever goal in the National Soccer League. Today, he's making his 92nd appearance. Ironically for Alex Tobin, he scored for his country before he could score for his club. Now Maxwell. Maxwell slipping and sliding. Adelaide City there looking for the free kick. Nothing given. Disappointment there on the face of Steve Maxwell. So Sydney, Croatia. We've had so much of this second half. Find themselves trailing by 2 goals to 1. As we're into the final 10 minutes, and Sydney, Croatia have got a free kick on that far side. Brian Northcote has done a good job this afternoon, controlling Robbie Slater. Alan Hunter will be the player to take this free kick. Trying to curl this one away from the keeper, who comes and misses it completely. Now Graham Arnold, and he's denied by Neville Flounders. A corner now for Sydney, Croatia. Taken by Shane Clinch. Alan Hunter's moved forward. Clinch with a corner. Hunter with the header. But off target and wide. Look at that goal from Alex Tobin. It's the goal that separates the two teams. We're just under 9 minutes left. Now Melta. Rebounds nicely for Graham Arnold. Now Lamond. Trying to cut inside. Chipping that one in. Arnold with the glancing header. Through the hands of Zabica. And only inches wide. Referee Jim Ross is there, has given a goal kick. Well, Lamond flicked this one across. A delicate header from Graham Arnold. Goes through the keeper's hands and only inches wide. And the referee there, perhaps made his first mistake of the afternoon, awards a goal kick. Zabica, a good afternoon for Adelaide City. As Joe Mullen now tries to put Graham Jennings under pressure at the other end. Cool play there, the fullback from the Winfield Socceroos. Rizzo forward. Now Kristovic. Kristovic trying to play that one inside. The flag went up and then the flag went down. Throw to Sydney, Croatia. On our watch, there's just over 5 minutes left. Mark Jones. Sergio Melta, so involved and so committed this afternoon, and now he sets Charlie Villani on his way. Still Villani, still Charlie Villani, and stopped eventually by Alan Hunter. Lamond there back helping his defenders. He's now spreading it wide and picking out Shane Clinch. Robbie Slater in support, but Clinch goes forward. This is Arnold, who's saved there by the keeper. Now Slater, still Robbie Slater. Stopped there by a good challenge, that from Shillabeer. Villani spreads it wide. Now Maxwell. Faced there by Hunter. And stopped by Alan Hunter. Sydney Croatia now throwing more and more players forward as they go searching for an equaliser. They could easily get caught at the back, but not this time as Alan Hunter's bundled down by Sergio Melta. Decision there not pleasing the Adelaide City supporters. Free kick though's been quickly taken. Now Jennings. Clinch on that far side. Alan Hunter was the player brought down. The free kick's been quickly taken. Jennings getting that one across. Paul Shillabeer there with the clearance. Then Brian Northcote helps it on his way. Only as far though as Steve Maxwell. He's having to hold play up and put under pressure there by Rezo. Now Mark Jones. Now Rezo. Now Slater. Cutting this one back in, looking for Mark Jones. Comes back to Slater. Left-footed cross. Shane Clinch at the far post. Now Lamond. Now Clinch getting behind the defence and trying to cut that one back, and Charlie Villani was the player there to concede the corner. Croatia getting plenty of support. With just over 3.5 minutes left. Lamond takes this corner. Goalkeeper comes and takes it safely. Tobin. Rezo. Wait this time by Flounders. Only as far though as Lamond. Still Lamond. Lamond with the shot. There's the equaliser. Lamond gets his 8th goal of the season. And it came from some Lamond magic. The goal coming after 87 minutes. Lamond, his 8th goal of the season. And didn't he do so well? It was always an awkward angle, but somehow he got it into the top corner. The goalkeeper with that one was given absolutely no hope. The Croatia supporters celebrate, but it's a goal with class written all over it. And it's the goal that brings us up with this scoreline with just 3 minutes to go to the end of this match. Adelaide City 2, Sydney Croatia 2. Well, who can deny Sydney Croatia if they take a point away from this game? But really, it's a game that deserves neither side to lose. Now Charlie Villani. Brian Northcote comes forward. Still Northcote. Wally Savor in there quickly. Wally Savor, the standing skipper for Sydney Croatia, leading the charge and picking out Robbie Slater. Nyskohus again the last line of defence as Robbie Slater there looks appealing at the linesman for a free kick. There was nothing given. Now Jennings. Lamond. Supporters this afternoon had some friendly rivalry here, and that's nice to see. They've really given this game some atmosphere. Full marks to both sets of players who've gone out to entertain this good-sized crowd. As Kristovic plays that one in, and there's Arnold! And it could be 2 points now for Sydney Croatia. Graham Arnold scores with less than 60 seconds to go. Graham Arnold, his 7th goal of the season. Tony Kristovic, the player brought on as a substitute, swung that one in. This is where Graham Arnold's so dangerous. He plants that one firmly past the keeper. Deadly finish in there from the Winfield Socceroos striker. His 7th goal of the season, and with less now than 60 seconds to go. Adelaide City 2, Sydney Croatia 3. For Sydney Croatia, only seconds away now from their first win here in Adelaide. Their only previous appearance here was back last season when it finished up in a 0-0 draw. But disappointment for the Adelaide City supporters. And really, as I was saying earlier, it's a game that neither side really deserve to lose. Both sides have gone out and shown what's the best in soccer. As Adelaide City have got a throw-in on that far side. We've now played 30 seconds of stoppage time, and referee Jim Rozic there starting to check his watches. This is Joe Mullen. Melta trying to play that one into the penalty area. Shane Clinch policing that one out of play. Croatia supporters already celebrated. They're happy. No hurry to take this goal kick from Tony Franken. Today playing his 100th match in the National Soccer League. And now surely only seconds away from celebrating that feat with a win bonus. Tobin with a header. Now Clinch. Forward this time by Shillabeer. And Hunter getting away from the danger area. And now here comes Lamond. Kristovic in the centre. Slater at the far post. This is Robbie Slater. He's got plenty of players now in support. This is one of them, Tony Kristovic. Now Graham Arnold, away by Adrian Santrac. Forward again by Wally Shamor as the final whistle goes. A game that had a dramatic second half, that had a dramatic finish. A game that showed all the best in Australian soccer. As both sets of supporters there had a good afternoon. Alex Tobin scoring his first ever NSL goal, put Adelaide City ahead after 78 minutes. And for so long, that looked as if that would see Adelaide City take both points. But 2 goals in a dramatic final 3 minutes, with Lamond celebrating his 80th match in the National Soccer League with his 8th goal of the season. And then in the final 60 seconds, Graham Arnold gets his 7th goal of the season to give those Sydney Croatia players the 2 points. They support their supporters. The final scoreline here, Adelaide City 2, Sydney Croatia 3. So let's cross now to Les Murray.
Well, thank you, Michael. A thrilling finish to a truly thrilling game, one of the best of the season. I have 2 of the men certainly partly responsible for the action today, the 2 coaches, Zoran Matic and Vedran Rozic. Zoran, to you first, commiserations for the loss, but I might congratulate you and Vedran for the fabulous display of football that we saw here today.
Well, it was more mad wrestling. Players tried to compete with the ground and with the ball. We can't complain on the effort. But certainly I got to complain. I like to be viewed before Croatia scores second goal. What's happened in the incident before that, before they got the ball. And if the whole National League wants to turn against me, I don't have to be involved in this game. But every time, if you want to help player to opposing team, get the Adelaide referee to Adelaide City.
What do you think happened?
Well, what it happened, I like you to turn film backwards and just watch it. What's happened right in the middle of the ground there. And there was a clearly push, and it just wasn't given. And the referee was very close there, and he saw it. And his display today is disgraces me.
Vedran, how did you see that particular incident before we go and analyse the rest of the match?
I know I just watch up front there, you know, and I only saw when his man scored excellent shot for their second goal.
Vedran, it's been an excellent game of football, taking into account the conditions here today. We really didn't think we'd see any football or any goals at all today, but it was a thriller, and your boys lasted very well at the end.
Yeah, of course, I think that we are dominate during the game, and especially when Adelaide City scored second goal, I think that we put more pressure, more effort on our front, and that is result to more goals.
Zoran, just finally, you did have, I thought, a good bit of the game. Certainly the first half, you were the more composed of the 2 teams. You led it 2-1 in the second half. Why couldn't you tie it up?
Well, we couldn't.
Apart from the incident that you referred to.
Well, I refer, and that was a deciding point, turning point in this game. That was it, and I like you to view that. Just don't cut it off, just show it. And if I'm wrong, I don't want to be involved anymore in the game. But if that fella is wrong, he's been wrong too many times to Adelaide City. He shouldn't be delegated to referee our games.
Okay, Zoran Matic, thanks very much. Good luck next week. Vedran Rozic, good luck next weekend for the rest of the season. Thank you. That's match of the day today. The final score, a 3-2 victory to Sydney Croatia, and more, of course, on the NSL's weekend round tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock on Match of the Day. Until then, this is Les Murray. Good night.